I hear voices! Hilfe! No, but seriously, you'll hear people talk about voices and they're talking about grammar somehow. What are they talking about? Well, today's video is going to explain to you. A voice is yet another grammatical code. It's used with verbs, but unlike tenses and moods, it doesn't actually tell you anything directly about the verb. It's used to express the relationship between the subject and the rest of the stuff in the sentence. I give you the definition here using the word stuff, which is pretty generic, but that's because if I use the actual terminology for it, it would just be using jargon to explain jargon, and jargon helping jargon is just stupid. So anyway, what I mean by stuff in this case is that it could be a prepositional phrase, or it could be a direct object, or an indirect object, or a bunch of other objects and stuff, but the long story short is it's just other stuff in the sentence. Luckily, there are only two voices in the German language. The downside is that they can actually be used with basically every one of the tenses and 2 out of 3 of the moods. The voices in German are called the active and passive voice, which is exactly what they're called in English. And they share a lot of common components with the English versions. Every single thing that I have talked about in this entire series of German grammar jargon videos has been in the active voice. This is where the subject of the sentence is doing something in that sentence, and if there is an object in that sentence, the subject is then acting upon that object. For example, ich kaufe einen Ball. I am the one buying something in that sentence. That's the subject. The thing I'm buying is the direct object, which is the ball. The passive voice basically switches this around so that the subject of the sentence is the one being acted upon. If I wanted to say the same sentence as before, but in the passive voice, I would say, der Ball wird von mir gekauft. As you can see, the subject of the sentence is now the ball, but it's still being acted upon by me. That's why in German we say von mir. As would be expected, you can use this most of the time. If you can do this in the active voice, you can probably do this in the passive voice. The only exception to this is that you cannot command someone to do something in the passive voice. It just wouldn't make any sense. In order to use this, we need a form of werden, which is that thing that we used for the future tense before. And then we also have to use a past participle. This is the only way that you can really tell the difference between the future tense, ich werde etwas machen, I will do something, and etwas wird von mir gemacht, something is being done by me. The difference here is that we use the future tense with an infinitive at the end of the sentence, but if we're using the passive voice, we use a past participle, like we did in the present perfect tense. Now let's take a look at what this looks like in all of the tenses in both the active and passive voices. Der Mann kauft die Karten. The man is buying the tickets. Die Karten werden von dem Mann gekauft. The tickets are being bought by the man. Der Mann wird die Karten kaufen. The man will buy the tickets. Die Karten werden von dem Mann gekauft werden. The tickets will be bought by the man. Der Mann hat die Karten gekauft. The man bought the tickets. Die Karten sind von dem Mann gekauft worden. The tickets were bought by the man. Der Mann kaufte die Karten. The man bought the tickets. Die Karten wurden von dem Mann gekauft. The tickets were bought by the man. Der Mann hatte die Karten gekauft. The man had bought the tickets. Die Karten waren von dem Mann gekauft worden. The tickets had been bought by the man. Der Mann wird die Karten gekauft haben. The man will have bought the tickets. Die Karten werden von dem Mann gekauft worden sein. The tickets will have been bought by the man. Der Mann kaufte die Karten. Or, der Mann würde die Karten kaufen. The man would buy the tickets. Die Karten würden von dem Mann gekauft werden. The tickets would be bought by the man. Der Mann hätte die Karten gekauft. The man would have bought the tickets. Die Karten wären von dem Mann gekauft worden. The tickets would have been bought by the man. Now that you know what tenses, moods, and voices are, I'm going to go through a series of videos here in the next several weeks where I'll give you an example verb. Then I'll go through each of the tenses, moods, and voices for that particular verb, so you can see how it is used in every single one of them. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and leave it a Daumen hoch down below. Also, if you want some other German grammar jargon explained to you in my terminology, go ahead and leave down in the comments down below what terms would you like to have explained. Would you like declension explained? Or maybe we should take a look at cases or something along those lines. Go ahead and leave a comment down below what kind of jargon I should explain next. Das ist alles für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.